I want to get right to the panel and introduce yourself, so we'll start with Robin.
Hi everyone, I'm Robin Grant. I'm the founder and managing director of We Are Social, and we're a conversation agency. So what that means is we help brands listen to, understand and engage in conversations in social media. That's about it.
I'm Joanne Jacobs. I'm the director of Xenial. We develop social networking websites. My bio is in the program, so you can read it all there. And I'm Australian, so stand up, speak up, shut up and piss off. I'm pissing off now.
I'm Matt McAllister. I'm with The Guardian, starting a new initiative for opening up data and services for developers to use. But I've only been doing that about three weeks, still kind of getting over the jet lag. So Guardian questions, I don't know how many I can ask. But before that, I was with Yahoo doing basically the same thing, running the Yahoo Developer Network.
Hi, Georgina Atwell, online director for Jordan Kindersley and Rough Guides Travel Guides. We took a rather brave step about a year ago to put all our content up free online at Travel.dk, allowing users to kind of create their own travel guides and essentially create any travel guide they like from our content. And it's been quite an exciting time. We've had places to dump your boyfriend, best mojitos in New York, as well as the more traditional kind of best things to do in Paris. So it's been an exciting 12 months.
Okay. We discussed a couple areas that we would like to cover. The ideas that had come up were, let's take a look into the future, let's talk about loyalty, let's talk about some of the metrics we use to define loyalty. But I want to start with the panel and ask them to take a look forward, because I think that this is the best way. If we think about where we were a year to 18 months ago in the social media marketing space, at that time, let's go back 18 months. Rupert Murdoch, Google came in and agreed to pay $900 million to handle the ads on MySpace, and now we're starting to see the News Corp and others make statements about it's difficult now to monetize the traffic that you get. Now that's from a publisher's standpoint. We're talking about the marketing standpoint here. That was just 12, 18 months ago. It seems like yesterday. We want to look ahead now to see where these things are going to go. For instance, will that resolve itself? Is the idea about marketing on social networks, was that a big mistake?
I think marketing on social networks, yeah. Marketing inside social networks, being part of those networks, no. I mean, I think that, there's a trend happening where consumers or people, we should say, are ignoring advertising more and more and trusting it less and less. Word of mouth is becoming increasingly important. And I think that's why Murdoch's talking about the problems he's having, because they're still trying to interrupt people. They're still trying to throw display advertising people and interrupt what they're doing. What companies really need to do, and obviously I would say this as I'm a conversation agency, so take it with a pinch of salt, but I really do believe that brands need to become part of that conversation and actually engage people in their own terms, in the places they're already having those conversations, and not interrupt, not act rudely. That makes sense.
I mean, there's two issues here. There's the net neutrality issue, and all of you are aware of this whole idea of net neutrality. There's a huge debate on it at the moment, and there's a massive amount of fear-mongering from lots of people about a cadre of ISPs getting together and charging for premium access to content. So anyone who's creating a social networking site now, you're going to be stuffed in about 2 years' time, or at least in about 4 years' time, because of the fact that certain agencies are going to charge a fee for your site to be available. First of all, this is absolute rubbish. It's a business model which will never, ever work. And the whole point of public service organisations is they'll give access to all of that content anyway. So forget about that issue. The biggest issue with net neutrality is the fact that if there are problems with ISPs, with internet service providers, actually charging more for access, it will mean that you're going to actually have a less maintained network. If you don't actually charge more for access, you're going to have a less maintained network and all those kinds of problems. So if you're not going to get money out of advertising and you're not going to get money out of access to the networks, where are you going to get the money from? Well, you're going to get the money from by focusing on niche markets. We've already said this today. It's going to be about accessing the specific kinds of information which is going to be valuable for your business. And that in itself is a whole new industry.
Matt?
I'll take the tools perspective. Where the money's going to go is a really hard question for me to get my head around. I just don't know. But I can see that the tools are just going to get more and more complicated and diverse, and the communities are, every month or two there's a new interesting tool and communities forming around these things, and it's going to get harder to figure out how to have conversations with your customers, which means you actually probably have to get more aggressive about being out there to be a part of that conversation, and instead of getting run over by whatever the next tool is, to maybe be the source of the tool, to maybe, act, if you're a marketer, act as a publisher, if you're a publisher, act as a marketer, and create the tools that enable conversations that you want to be a part of.
I just think there's going to be more and more of a conflict between what companies want and what individuals want. I think as a company, I want to see much more what my return is for the work that I'm doing within these social networks, and I want to be able to track it and monetize, etc. And the user, particularly I think on social networks like Facebook, is going to want less of that, less company. As someone was saying before, it's all about me, my friends. I'm not there to engage with brands. It's not the right place, but maybe I will in blogs if I have the time to do that. So I can see there's going to be some conflict there, and I agree what you were saying before about kind of needing to go and be in the appropriate places. But again, as a consumer, I want to go in and have one login. I don't want to log into 10 different places. What's useful about Facebook and the other big sites is it's one, and you can have lots of different niche groups within that. So I think it's going to go back and forth between the two.